Hey YouTube. So for some reason my intro got deleted, but today I'm doing a get ready with me on this look, and I'm using the Vice 2 palette just to show that you don't have to use just the crazy colors, and that you can do an everyday look that you can wear to work or to church or wherever you're just going for just a simple eye look. So keep on watching and I hope you enjoy. Bye. I grabbed my Urban Decay Vice 2 palette because I know that there's been a lot of like love-hate with it, and I personally love it, and I think that a lot of the negativity comes from people thinking that you can't do a neutral like work look with it, and so I decided just to make a look like that that's kind of carefree, easy, and is appropriate for work. If you hear any squirming down here, that's the little one. And back there, my 2-year-old is supposed to be napping, so we'll see how this goes. Okay. First thing I'm going to do is just pin back my bangs so that I don't get any stuff on them. Roll up my sleeves. It's messy work. I'm using the Dior Skin Nude BB Cream, and I have it in the shade 001, which I believe is actually, don't quote me, I believe it's the second lightest. I'm just gonna dab that over. I'm using the Soho Beauty Sponge to apply it. Like I said in my last video, I don't have a beauty blender, and you know, I'm not sure that I will be getting one, just because it's pretty pricey just for a sponge, when I like how this one works. And then I adore the Real Techniques brushes, and a lot of people have been saying that the sponge that they just came out with is an exact dupe for the Beauty Blender. So my next step is going to be to go try that out. And I'm sorry if I'm looking in the viewfinder too much. I'm using it kind of as a mirror. Okay, I'm taking the CoverGirl Fresh Complexion Concealer. It's one that I've had for a while. I have it in the shade Buff Beige, and I actually really like this. I've never heard anyone talk about, oh, he just keeps kicking my arm. I've never heard anyone actually talk about it, and I just kind of like picked it up one day. I was just like looking around the drugstore or whatever, and I've been using it for a while. I'm almost out. Give me another second. With my tribal markings. Okay. I'm going to take the same Soho Beauty Sponge I used to rub in the BB cream with my concealer. I'm just going to pat up. I am very paranoid all the way out to the temple about being too harsh on this under eye skin. I don't mind looking older, and I don't mind later on like having wrinkles and stuff, but I do want to age gracefully, and I really don't want to do anything to like speed up the process. I just want to look good for my age, I guess. I don't think that this concealer is going to do much like if you have dark, heavy under eye circles, but I don't typically have that problem, so it works fine for me. I don't notice it creasing, and I do have just some little lines underneath my eye, and because I have a newborn, my eyes have just been a little bit darker than they typically would be, so it's been helping in that aspect too. So I always like to, if I know I want to do like an inner quarter highlight, take the Maybelline Color Tattoo in, I think it's Too Cool. Yeah, 05 Too Cool, and it's just this white shimmery color. And it's gonna look really harsh when you first apply it. Just a little bit up there. And a little bit down there. Yeah, it's gonna look a little harsh when you first apply it, but once you put the actual highlight, it works much better. Because, you know, a lot of times you don't want to, most people wouldn't even use a white for like such a bright white for a highlighter, just because it tends to be too harsh. They're much better off typically with like a champagne color, which is what we're gonna use from the Vice tube. But we're gonna take this middle shade right here, Habit. Sorry guys, I'm still figuring this out. Right there. It's kind of reminiscent of matte grain. I'm just gonna apply it all over my eyes. It's kind of reminiscent of matte grain, or oh, I'll use this mirror. Matte grain, or Wet n Wild in their single eyeshadows, they have a really perfect color. Like if you're just wanting something cheap but it's good quality, it's called Creme Brulee, and it's a lot like this, and then you're not spending so much money on such a basic color that honestly it's, you know, you don't need to spend that much money on just a base color or a transition color. It's just a little single eyeshadow for $1 or $2 and it's fine. And the next thing I'm gonna do is take Dope, which is just it's a champagne-y color with just a little bit of like kind of shimmer. It's very subtle. You can skip this step, and you can also skip the inner corner highlight if you want. I feel like it'll be appropriate for most workplaces. It's okay. But if you work in a really conservative office or something, then you might just want to skip this step. But just spread it a little underneath. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is take this color Toxic, and it is like, it's a little bit coppery, but just subtle coppery. So it's got, you know, some kind of color, but it's not going to look bad. And I'm just going to throw that in my crease and in this outer, just kind of push it along a little bit. Throw it up. Just kind of blend it out here. Okay. Okay. If you guys feel like you're in a different spot, that's because you are. I'm sorry. I'm still trying to figure out the lighting and where I'm going to start filming and the setup and all of that. Okay. But again, you're using the smaller side of the brush that comes with the Vice 2 palette and taking the color Toxic. Just running it deeply through the crease and then lightly out to the top. Okay, gonna do that on the other side as well. I'm gonna take that same color Dope. Don't worry, we're not done with the actual eye. We're gonna take that same color Dope that we used with the inner corner highlight and put it on the smaller side of the brush and just highlight the brow bone. So in my bottom waterline, I'm going to use the Rimmel Scandaleyes Kohl Kajal Liner in 005 Nude. This is awesome. It stays put all day. It's not too bright, and it just works. It looks really nice. A little bit more. I'm a mama too. I have to put a little extra on to look awake. Okay, we're gonna do it for that. You guys mind? I'm gonna use this mirror. I hope you don't mind. Eyeliner you don't really want to use a viewfinder for, so. I'm gonna use the Rimmel Glam Eyes Professional Liquid Liner. So I'm going to use this CoverGirl Lash Blast. This is my holy grail drugstore mascara. I think it's great, and I think it gives volume, it gives length, but it doesn't give too much. It gives it a little bit more on the natural side of things, but still looks really good. So I'm purposely cutting out my mouth while I'm applying this mascara because I can't be the only person on the planet who applies mascara like this. Like, I don't know why I feel the need to open my mouth. I just do. It just makes it work, I guess. So it's kind of embarrassing. I mean, I'm no, like Angelina Jolie with her, like, you know, that ain't me. This is what I'm saying. When I heard that a lot of people didn't like the Vice 2 palette, I was stunned. I think it's beautiful, and I basically bought the whole palette for one shade. There are several colors that aren't very common, but there's this one color which I'm not using it, so I don't know why I'm mentioning it right now. Probably because I love this palette. It's that purpley color right there, Betrayal, and it's kind of like a duochrome shade, and I seriously basically bought the palette for just that shade. But it is beautiful, and it applies beautifully, and it blends beautifully, and it lasts beautifully. It's beautiful. Did you get the drift? Well, so I bought the whole palette basically for that shade, but I started working with other shades and loving it, and I just am in love with the palette. So when I knew that a lot of people were upset that there weren't enough like wearable looks, I was just like, you're crazy, you're wrong, you have to love this palette as much as me. So I'm thinking about doing a couple different looks because, I mean, if you look at this makeup look, it's kind of splotchy. I always go back and like fix my eye makeup, especially when I'm trying to do it through the viewfinder. But it's a very wearable look, it's very neutral, and it's very work appropriate. So there's no reason. I don't think I did those bottom lashes. Yes, I did. Oh, mascara all over the place. See, told you I'm not a professional. My cheek's looking a little bit of the redness is coming through on this side, so I'm just gonna put a little bit more of that Dior Nude Booby Cream. That's not the kind of makeup tutorial I'm doing. BB cream. And I know I already put some concealer on, but I'm gonna rub it back there too. My face gets red really easily, and when I saw it on camera, I was like, that's not how red it looks in real life, I promise. So I still have to work with some of the settings. Okay. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a little bit of contour. I don't like a harsh contour. I'm pretty fair, so I'm just gonna use this Rimmel Natural Bronzer in the shade 022 Sun Bronze. And I'm gonna use the Real Techniques stippling brush to just apply that. Just kind of, and I like to apply it upwards because if anything, it's just gonna make your cheekbones look a little bit higher, rather than if you do it downwards, then it's gonna like drag out your face. So. I really like this, but sometimes I find that it can be a bit orange for my skin. So I only like use it depending on like what blush I'm wearing with it that day. Today I picked out like a peach blush, which it's actually called Peaches by MAC. And it's really beautiful, but I find that it blends nicely with this. I like to run a little bit along the double chin and along the jawline. Okay. Let's do just a little bit more on this. There we go. We're getting there, guys. Alrighty, and then the blush I'm gonna take is MAC Peaches, and this has seriously got to be one of my favorite. And my face just looks really red on that side. I think it's because it's kind of warm in here. And let me just, have you guys noticed my scarf? My husband makes fun of me every time I wear this, but it's got cats on it. Like, do you guys see that? Kitty cats everywhere. If I was not married and had 2 children, I would definitely be a cat lady, and my husband hates cats, so I only have one, and her name is Muffin Top, and she is very picky about who she likes. So I'm one of 3 people. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna do is take my Anastasia. What is it? Like, some people say it really fancy, like Anastasia or like Anastasia. That looks like Anastasia to me. It was one of my favorite movies growing up, and her name was Anastasia. So I'm gonna say Anastasia. But I'm just gonna fill in my brows, and again, I'm gonna use the mirror from the Vice to do this. I like the bushier brow look, but I also like it to look natural. Like, I don't enjoy that, like, I clearly drew my eyebrows in look. My husband, I was in Sephora with him the other day. For Christmas, the only thing I asked for from like everybody was Sephora gift cards. So we were going through Sephora and I was using a bunch of my gift cards, and we stopped by the Anastasia like little section, and he's like, people fill in their eyebrows, and I'm like, yeah. He's like, why would you waste your time doing something like that? And I'm like, you understand that I fill in my eyebrows all the time, right? And he's like, what? Why would you waste your time? And I'm like, you don't understand. The days that I actually fill in my eyebrows, you always compliment me. And it's true. He, like, if I don't fill in my eyebrows, I'm not saying he won't compliment me or anything, but like the days that I fill them in, he says something and he notices. And I did that one a little too dark because I was getting chatty. Okay. Whatever. Okay, last step, I am taking Milani's lipstick. You see that? This is what happens when you have children. My lipstick has been colored on the wall. It was so fun to clean up. But anyway, I decided it wasn't worth throwing away because he's ruined so many lipsticks, and he's ruined actually some quite expensive ones. But it's in 26 Nude Cream, and it is beautiful. And I don't know if it's just me, but I kind of like the way Milani lipsticks smell. They smell a little candy, but like with plastic together. I like it. And this is just going to be a nice nude. Inappropriate for anyone to wear. It's weird because it's a pinky nude, but I feel like it has just a little bit of a brown sheen to it. But I really like it. It's just a drugstore lipstick, you know, it lasts like 4 or 5 hours. But I don't have a problem reapplying products, so that's never actually a factor for me. I know it is for a lot of people, just not for me. But it doesn't really dry my lips out or anything, which I have a problem with a lot of products drying my lips out. And typically I'll put like a vanilla soft lips balm on underneath, so. Alrighty guys, oh, let's take that down. That was my first get ready. Okay, if you want to go on a trip somewhere, you could take just this palette and make it work, and you're not going to need to bring like the Naked palette or the Lorac Pro with it. This can make looks that are entirely neutral. You can make glam looks, you can make, you know, smoky looks with it. It just doesn't need anything else with it. It's fine on its own, and you can make a neutral look. But anyway, now that I'm done like rambling about that, enjoyed it. I will be back tomorrow, which is Friday, with a new video. I think what I'm going to do is Monday, Wednesday, Friday put videos up, because those are the days I have off from school. But until then, I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.